In this video, we're going to be talking about facts about your air conditioning system, facts about our maintenance agreement with Cove Towers, and if you stay tuned until the end of the video, we're going to go over special pricing for repairs and replacement around your air conditioning system. Hey residents of Cove Towers, this is Bruno. I wanted to take a special moment out to send you a thank you for renewing your maintenance agreement with our company. There's a couple questions that have came up over the last year that I really wanted to address here. First, we've done a few air conditioning replacements, and there's been a little inconsistency in pricing. Now, inconsistency in pricing happens in our industry for a couple reasons. The majority of our equipment is made up of fine metals, and quarterly those prices vary in our industry, determining the cost of manufacturing. Now, that won't be a problem to you guys anymore, because with the board, we've negotiated consistent pricing. Now, there's been a few questions that's came up since we've had the maintenance agreement, like about a Wi-Fi thermostat. We're going to be including a Wi-Fi thermostat upgrade if you want one to monitor the home while you're gone if we replace your air conditioning unit. If we replace your air conditioning and you want this upgrade, it's $300. However, this is a very simple technology that we will install and teach you how to use. It's great, you can monitor humidity levels when you're gone. Now, there's been a few questions regarding ultraviolet lights. I want to address ultraviolet lights because there's a lot of confusion in the industry about it. You can technically have up to 6 ultraviolet lights installed in your air conditioning system. We live in Southwest Florida. Mold spores come from outside. Every time you open your windows and your doors, all of that air passes inside your home, and your air conditioning unit here in your closet or your laundry room or your mechanical room cycles all the air inside your home up to 50 times a day every time it runs. So as those spores are in that air, it comes through your return or through your filter because they're microscopic. Now, as they go through your filter, they go through the coil, they end up in the blower, and then they end up inside your air, okay? Now, that's not a problem until they start to grow a bit on the bottom side of your coil. Once they start to grow on the bottom side of your coil, it ends up looking a little like this, okay? Now, the only way to prevent mold growth in Florida is to basically put the sun inside your air conditioning unit. And the only way to do that is with an ultraviolet light. Now, if you want to prevent any mold growth ever from growing in here, the only way to do that is to put up to 6 UV lights in. Now, that sounds crazy, but I'm going to show you why it makes sense. If you do that, you're putting it on the bottom side of the coil, top side of the coil, left side of the coil, in the blower section, and then in the ducts. Now, the majority of you will never have that problem. Less than half a percentage point of my customers ever even consider it. So what the most important thing for us to do with your units is to keep them nice and clean. Now, if you have mold growth throughout your unit, we've got to put it on the coil usually, or the blower wheel, or on top of the coil, or we have to replace it. So as long as we put at least 1 light on the bottom side of the coil, the vast majority of you should take very well and good care that no growth ever happens. There was some discussion over the last 12 months around how do we know when the maintenance was performed and how do we know whether the checklist was good or passed. So we're making some changes this go around with the maintenance program. We're going to be placing stickers on every single unit. That's a Bruno sticker. It has the date it was serviced, the technician that serviced it, and what service was performed. We're also going to leave an envelope for the checklist and all the work orders to be placed inside, right by the unit, so that there's never any confusion around what work was performed or how the unit checked out on our last visit. Now, if there's absolutely any recommendations that we have to make to the homeowner, we're going to do that with Trey, the building manager, and then we're going to send an email notification to the homeowner and get a hold of you and explain any preventive problems that might happen. In being that we're so focused on the quality of workmanship that we're sending out to Cove Towers, we've developed a specific team. They're going to be the only 6 technicians that have the ability to service your building. They're going to know where to park, they're going to know where the units are located, they're going to know who and when to contact, they're going to know how to communicate to the homeowners, they're going to know the expectations of the performance of the building, and they're going to know your property inside and out. It's going to be a concierge-based team. Now, a couple fun facts. A few homeowners were concerned about when they should replace the unit, how long they should last, or when do we know if there's a potential problem. And there's one cue that you should always pay attention to. You should always pay attention to your energy bills. If your energy bills show any fluctuation, Usually it means your unit's not running at all, not running enough, or it's running too much. Now, a seasonal resident has different idea on when they should replace their unit compared to somebody that lives full-time. As a seasonal resident, the rule of thumb is anytime it's about 10, 12, or 14 years old, you should replace it to prevent any problems from a minimum risk, maximum reward scenario. If you live here full-time, you have the advantage of always knowing what's going on with the unit. However, we've seen air conditioning units on seasonal homes last 8 years and then have a problem when somebody's gone and they would have expected it to last longer. So if you're seasonal, you really want to pay attention and be preventive with replacement. That's one of the reasons we really threw together this bulk buy. If everybody decides to replace their air conditioning system that has an old one, we've put together an irresistible offer. $4,000 period. Full coverage, bumper to bumper. We're going to get everybody on the schedule the month of April, May, or the first half of June. We're going to pencil in organizational slots dedicated to your community, and we're going to get all of the old units replaced to prevent any problems and make sure that your energy bills stay low, your units stay in healthy shape, and no property damage happens to your condo. As you'll notice attached to the bottom of this email, there's going to be a proposal for replacement. It's going to be one price, the $45.70 is going to be your set price if you have to replace your unit over the next 12 months. However, if we're able to schedule all the old unit replacements within April, May, or the first half of June, you're going to get the one-time only price of $4,000. All of my contact info is in this email. And thanks again. We won't let you down.